So bear with me a second as I get this share on and sign-in sheets and everything else. You know what I'm saying? Bear with me one sec. If you can, share, like, you know what I'm saying? If you have any questions, post them in the comments. Let me pull that up so I'll be able to see them. Alright, got that up and running. Any questions, post them in the comments. Bear with me a second as I get this sharing and these sign-in sheets up and running. Alright, I got the sign-in sheet on the Facebook and the YouTube. Sign on in. Let me get my share on there. Alright. As y'all know, we upon that time where politicians are out there acting and pretending to be nice to black folk, acting and pretending to be nice to Hispanics, and basically begging for their vote. But let me tell you something, that vote that y'all take so much pride in, that vote that has y'all believing that you know what I'm saying, that these people care about us, that these people are going to do something for us, that these people actually have our best interests at heart, is lies. It's smoke and mirrors. You know what I'm saying? And the black and Hispanic community has an attachment to voting because of what our ancestors foolishly done. Our ancestors foolishly, out of fear and other lusts, you know what I'm saying, tied us into getting this vote. And they did that so it could feel like we're being included into this country that has clearly showed us nothing but hate. As you could see, you could just watch the news, you know what I'm saying? You had Ahmaud Arbery that died way back in like February, March, and that joint finally came out in May. Why did it come out then? I don't know. A whole bunch of rumors and propaganda on why it came out. Killed in her home by it didn't amongst this time where we are looking up to beg white people for equality. At this time when we're looking to beg white people to consider us as equals and not murder us. At a time like that, also Kodash was in the midst of that chaos and had our oppressors kiss the boots of the prophets. That's a mighty thing to see. Even though a lot of our people went against it and didn't like what they saw, but that thing is a beautiful sight. And then I seen a video earlier today. A sister catching the backlash of another sister getting shot in Tallahassee, Florida by the police. Getting killed. I said shot, my bad. It's Slocky. A sister in Tallahassee, Florida getting killed by the police. We are being hunted. We are being hunted. We are being, how may I say, we are literally being tracked down, killed, slaughtered, and our vote is not going to help that. Voting is not going to solve that issue. Voting is not going to fix that problem. The only thing that's going to fix that problem is separation. Separating from our oppressor and start following the laws that was given to us by our people. You know what I'm saying? The laws that was given to us by our forefathers. The laws that was given to us by our power. We separate from those heathens, stop doing what they do, and start doing what we are told to do. Everything will fall into place. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to start off with, let's start off with Deuteronomy 17 and 15. Let me put that in there. Hold on, let me get this chat up and running. Bear with me as I get this chat up and running. Deuteronomy 17 and 15. I think I might go like to about 20 about. Let's get there. If you're there, I'll give y'all some time to get there. Deuteronomy is one of the first 5 books. It's a beautiful book. It's a book that dictates who we are as God's chosen people. And as God's chosen people, we were given those books so we could learn how to love each other properly. So we could learn to take care of each other. That's something that is not shown today. That's why you had a bunch of brothers around that brother George Floyd with cameras. And I ain't mad at them. Those cameras brought to light what was going on. But something else could have been done. Something more could have been done to save that brother's life. You know what I'm saying? Even if you got to jeopardize your own to save that brother's life, it should have been done. It should have been done. But we're going to get there. Deuteronomy 17, 15. Thou shalt in any wise set him king over thee. Who is this talking about? We shall not set him in any wise king over thee. And that means the power of our rulership is not our choice. We don't have the right to set anybody to be ruler over us. We don't have the right to pick a president because that is not our custom. That is the custom of our oppressor. That is the custom of people that wants to kill us. That is the custom of people that want us dead. That is the custom of people that's choking us out, got their knee on our neck while a brother is screaming out for his mama. A brother that is screaming out for his mama. That's not our custom. That's their custom. We don't pick our leaders. Let's continue. whom the Lord thy God shall choose, one from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. Look, the Most High choose our leaders. God chooses them. And that process, and when it's shown, it's obvious. You know what I'm saying? It's obvious who the Most High picks, because the simple fact is, you can't dispute it. The works are being shown. And that leader today, amongst us living today, is Commander General Yohan. Nothing that being done is scandalous. He is flawless. Everything that is about him is teaching blacks, Hispanic, and natives their true identity. You know what I'm saying? That is what he's about. Everybody else want to run their mouths about it, but at the same time, we did not pick the general. The general did not even pick this role. He didn't pick this role. Davion, do me a favor real quick. Pop on that light. The water. The general did not even pick his role to lead Israel. He did not choose that. That role was given to him. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. You know what I'm saying? Whom the Lord thy God shall choose, one from among thy brethren shalt thou set king over thee. So for one, he has to be of our people. He has to be of our people. Guess what? If you're not sure, if it's not clear to you, that man said that if you vote for Trump, or if you're not sure if you're who to pick, you're not black. Well, let me tell you something. He's not black either. He's not black, Hispanic, or Native. He is part of our problem. That man put in votes to help make sure that your uncles and fathers wasn't incarcerated for the smallest of crimes. Joe Biden is not black, so he cannot be set ruler and leader of our people. So what you voting for? What's the point of your vote? Well, what's the reason? He cannot rule over us. And what possibly can Joe Biden do to stop these police from shooting us? What possibly can Donald Trump do to stop these rednecks from shooting us? What can be done? What can possibly be done? Your vote means nothing. Because know why your vote means nothing? Because it won't solve any black, Hispanic, or Native issues. It won't. You're voting for men that hate us. Both of them. Both of them got a history of wanting us dead. Both of them. But if you got a question, type them on in. You know what I'm saying? And don't forget to share, like, do whatever you can. But both of those men, Biden, Trump, they all wish death upon black and Hispanics. Trump proves it almost every day. Biden, he's a little more covert about his racial hatred. You know what I'm saying? But not here. Not here. You know what I'm saying? He is not one of us. He is not fit to lead our people anywhere, because all he's going to do is lead us into more destruction and more problems amongst this country. You know what I'm saying? But let's get into it a little further. Thou mayest not set a king over thee. We ain't even supposed to be setting a king over thee. But let it continue. Let's read a little further. Which is not thy brother. We can't set anybody that's over us that's not our brother. That is not black, Hispanic, and Native. Besides the fact, we're not supposed to be setting anybody above us, period. That's the Most High's choice. Because if we did what we wanted to do, the people that come on, think about it. Think about the mind state that black, Hispanics, and Natives are in. Think about the mind states that we're in. Who would be leading us right now if it was our choice? Let's get into it. If it was our choice, we'd probably have Kanye West as the president of the United States. You know what I'm saying? We'll probably have you know what I'm saying, Jay-Z or somebody who really is more about their own life and their own interest than the interests of the people. You know what I'm saying? That's who they would end up choosing. That's why it's not our choice. It's the Most High's choice. And you'll know if there's any contention, blood will be spilled. Like when those Israelites went up to Moses try to how can I put it? When they try to contest his leadership, when they try to question his leadership, what happened to those brothers and sisters? What happened to them? They end up getting burnt, set on fire by the Most High. Not even Moses. It wasn't by Moses' hands. You know what I'm saying? The Most High picks our leaders. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. Let's go to verse 16. But he shall not multiply horses to himself, nor cause the people to return to Egypt. Now, that's an important verse. Because our leaders ain't supposed to further us into bondage like Martin Luther King did. Martin Luther King pushed us further underneath the bondage of our oppressors. You know what I'm saying? He furthered that. So Martin Luther King was not our leader. Malcolm X furthered us under the oppression of Arabs and their culture. He's not our leader. You know what I'm saying? Obama, the African, who's not black at all, who does not have any connection or understanding to what happened during slavery. He has none of that. He don't understand our pain, period. You know what I'm saying? So even Obama is not fit. But let's start that back from the top. But he shall not multiply horses to himself. What does that mean? What does that mean? He should not multiply horses to himself. If you're in class, type it in your comment section. Let's see if y'all been studying. What does it mean that the person that's supposed to lead us should not multiply horses unto himself? What does that mean? I don't see nothing popping up, but I know it's about a 30-second difference. But for the sake of time, let me tell you something. A person that multiplies horses to himself is a person of greed. It's a person that wants everything. How many horses does a person need to ride? You know what I'm saying? How many horses do you need to go from point A to point B? You only need one. So you multiplying horses unto yourself is a sign of greed. Put that saddle on that horse, get up on it, and go. What you need 2 or 3 horses for? What you need that for? Even one horse could pull a carriage. Oh, Raphael Stinson, the question was in Deuteronomy chapter 17, verse 16. What does it mean that the leader who picks and chooses, who the Most High picks and chooses, what does it mean that they should not multiply horses unto themselves? What does that mean? Like I was stating, what it meant is that they can't be greedy. They can't be selfish. They can't be all about their own selves. You know what I'm saying? Their first priority is the people. So us voting for Biden, who is greedy, us voting for Trump, who is greedy, who is not of our people, who is definitely down to multiply horses up to themselves. You know what I'm saying? Who is definitely down to bring us back into Egypt, which means bondage, keep us under the oppression of America, what are you voting for? What's the purpose of your vote? What's the purpose of it? None of these leaders will actually have the black and Hispanics' best interests in mind. But let me tell you who has the black, Hispanic, and Native interests in mind. That's Commander General Yohana, the head of the ISUPK. That's who has the black, Hispanic, and Natives' best interests in mind. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. For as much as the Lord hath, Salakia, I jumped ahead a bit. Let me start 16 from the top. But he shall not multiply horses to himself, nor cause the people to return to Egypt. He shall not cause us to return to bondage. And that's what every black vote does. Every black vote returns us to bondage. It gets us deeper into bondage. Think about it. Before we had the right to vote, what did we have as a people? What did we have as a people? No. Let me rephrase the question. As black, Hispanics, and Native people, right? Before integration, before the Civil Rights Movement, what did we have? What is the most important thing that we had? We had dependency on each other. We depended on each other. The black dollar would take over a year to exit the black community back then. Now it only takes 5 minutes. Every dime we get goes back to our oppressors. So y'all fighting for reparation, those ADOS, mind you, ADOS is being led by a Jewish woman who has nothing in her heart but to have blacks and Hispanics pinned up against each other. Mind you, she is a Jewish woman. And you are choosing her as a leader. We should just have us pinned up against our own brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. To the end that he should multiply horses, for as much as the Lord hath said unto you, ye shall henceforth return no more that way. Verse 17, neither shall he multiply wives to himself, to that his heart turn not away. See, unfortunately, these Christians will believe that this is a verse that goes against polygamy, which is not true. Because it states he shall not multiply wives unto himself, so his heart will turn away. Because if you have too many wives, I'm guaranteeing your heart will turn away from what you're supposed to be doing as the leader of black, Hispanic, and Native people. As the leader of black, Hispanic, and Native people, your first job is to do the Lord's will. And that's to lead us and take care of us. Anything outside of that, you start focusing on your woman and your woman problems, you're not focusing on what your job is supposed to be. You know what I'm saying? Well, let's get back into it. Neither shall he greatly multiply to himself silver and gold. Now, it's telling you he should not multiply horses, he should not multiply women, he should not multiply silver and gold. That's just summing up the fact that your leader should not be greedy. Your leader should not be greedy. And every black and Hispanic leader, from the pastor to the minister to the deacon, they all are greedy. To your favorite rapper, whoever you think should be a leader amongst black people are greedy. All they care about is that money. All they care about is women. All they care about is those cars, those houses. They don't care about the condition of the people. You know what I'm saying? All they care about is their wealth. That's all they care about is their wealth. You know what I'm saying? If you have any questions, type them on in. Don't forget to share. You know what I'm saying? But let's go to verse 18. And it shall be, when he sitteth upon the throne of his kingdom, that he shall write him a copy of this law in a book. You know what I'm saying? He had a thing to do. He had the leaders of Israel had to write themselves a copy of the law. They had to rewrite the Bible. Well, the first 5 books. They had to rewrite the first 5 books, which is a dope thing. Because he's putting it into memory. So he has no excuse to say he didn't know. You wrote it. You wrote it. Now, that is showing you, you know what I'm saying? He is rewriting all law, statutes, and commandments. So he knows them as a leader. He knows what we should be doing as a people. He knows how we should be led, our customs, and everything else. But let me tell you something. Your pastor knows it too. Your pastor knows those law, statutes, and commandments also. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, is he following them? Is your pastor following them? Let me tell you something. It's a good thing to have the knowledge of the laws, statutes, and commandments, but it's a better thing to follow. It's a better thing to live by. And these Christians do not live by it. That's why they are promoting you to vote. Christians know that we're not supposed to. They know these qualities of a leader. They know these qualities of a leader. But what are they going to tell you? What are they going to tell you to promote voting to you? Our ancestors died to vote. That's what they're going to tell you. Does that mean you should vote because our ancestors foolishly and out of fear wanted to vote? Our ancestors literally felt like it was a way for us to be included into this country. It was a sign of respect. That's what our ancestors thought. Our ancestors thought it was a sign of respect. And it was a way for us to be included, and the white man would appreciate it. Let me tell you. As history has proven, all it has done was shown he does not appreciate it. He does not care. In fact, he loses respect for you with every vote that you cast, with every march that you organize, every protest you start saying no justice, no peace, he loses respect. Because you're dependent on him. You are eating at his table. So he don't respect you. But let's continue. And it shall be with him, and he shall read therein all the days of his life, law, and these statutes, to do them. Ask yourself, you think Donald Trump knows the law, statutes, and commandments? Do you think Joe Biden knows the law, statutes, and commandments? Do you think anybody running knows the law, statutes, and commandments? Let me tell you something. Nobody running knows the law, statutes, and commandments but us of the ISUPK. Period. Everybody else is straight up and down heathens. This law was not given to them. This law is not for them. This law is for black, Hispanics, and natives so we can get right, start loving each other. That's the whole purpose of the law, statutes, and commandments. The whole purpose of the law, statutes, and commandments is for us to love each other. So when our kings and our rulers write them down, they know how to love us properly. They know everything. That's something that they got to do. You think Donald Trump is going to rewrite these scriptures? You think Biden's going to rewrite these scriptures? Let me tell you something. They're not rewriting anything. It's not even in their Constitution for them to rewrite the Constitution. But it's in our Bible that our rulers and leaders got to rewrite these. So they know. So we know that they know it. It's a metaphoric thing to show that it's in their heart. You know what I'm saying? But let's continue. Verse 20. That his heart be not lifted up above his brethren. Like, our leaders cannot think that they're better than the average man. Believe me, Biden think he's better than every nigga on this planet. Guaranteed. Trump definitely think he's better than every black Hispanic person on this planet. You alright? Go get some water. Every black, Hispanic, and Native person, Donald Trump thinks he's better than. You know what I'm saying? And that disqualifies them as leaders of our people. Our people need a leader who is humble, who is not ready to publicly call Jesus Christ. Even he washed feet. He washed feet. It can't get no more humble than that. He got on his knees and washed feet. You think Donald Trump is going to wash Tyrone down the block's feet? You think Joe Biden is going to wash Shaniqua down the block's feet? No, they're not. They're not. They're unfit to rule over us. So don't cast no vote. Leave white people to white people's business. That's their business. Let them do their thing. That's their custom. Let them do their thing. It's not going to make a difference to us. Them, whoever wins, it's going to be the same for us regardless. We're going to be the bottom of the barrel. We're going to get the shitty end of the stick. We're going to end up getting all the we're just going to be at the bottom. That's the bottom line. We're going to be at the bottom. You know what I'm saying? But let's drop that. Let's get Isaiah 9:16. Let me pop that in there. I'll give y'all a couple of seconds to get there. Isaiah 9:16. Alright, if you're there, read along with me. And if you have any questions, don't be afraid to type them in, because you know what I'm saying, those questions are going to burn at you. Those questions could end up destroying you if you don't get them answered. Get your questions answered. If I don't know the answer, I know somebody that do. I know captains, I know officers, captains, generals, brothers that are better than me that knows the answer. Somebody knows it. You know what I'm saying? So type in your questions, get your questions answered. It's important. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to continue. Isaiah chapter 9 verse 16. For the leaders of this people cause them to err. Who is this people? If you're in class right now, type in this verse, who is this people? Because you know white people said these people, you be upset. So you need clarity. You ask the white person, what you mean by these people? Who are these people? Let's answer this question. Who is this people? If you know the answer, type it in. You know the answer? Give y'all a few more seconds because I know it's about a 30-second delay between what I actually say and by the time it hits the screen. I'm going to ask it one more time. Who is this people that's talking about in Isaiah 9 and 16? For the sake of time, I know y'all shy. I understand. Y'all shy. Class participation is always a good thing. But you're shy, but let me tell you, this people is talking about Black, Hispanic, and Native people. This people, you know what I'm saying, is talking about us. Hold on, what is it? Oh, it's already new to you, Raphael? All right, just sit back, relax. Whatever questions come in, you know what I'm saying, don't hesitate to ask. Even as I'm teaching, just type it right on in. You know what I'm saying? But let me tell you, this people in Isaiah 9 and 16 is talking about Black, Hispanic, and Native people. It's talking about the Israelites, God's chosen people. And it's talking about their leaders caused them to err. What does it mean to err? What does it mean to err? E-R-R. What does it mean to err? It should be easy to figure this out. For the sake of time, let me tell you what err is. Err is error. Cause us to err, cause us to mess up, cause us to make mistakes, cause us to go against our power. You know what I'm saying? Cause us to go against the law, statutes, and commandments of the Most High. That's what it means to cause us to err. You know what I'm saying? And let's get into it a little further. No, let me ask this question. Now that we got it clear who this people is, who are the leaders? Who are the leaders of Black, Hispanic, and Native people? Name a Black, Hispanic, and Native leader. Who's a Black, Hispanic, and Native leader? You don't even got to type it in. Just think it. Just think of a Black, Hispanic, and Native leader. And think about what they have done for us that's beneficial for us as a whole. What problems have they solved for Black, Hispanic, and Native people as a whole? What have they done? Have they made anything better? Have you done anything better? Well, let me tell you, Harvey, failure. Black Panthers, failures. Martin Luther King, failure. Malcolm X, failure. Anybody you could think as a Black, Hispanic, and Native leader, Farrakhan, failure. All of them were failures. Your pastors, Jesse Jackson, what else the other one? Al Sharpton, they're all failures. You know why? Because our best interest ain't in their heart. They're not our true leaders. The Most High didn't choose them. So they're all failures and they all cause us to err. Why do they cause us to err? Because what did they get? What did they want so bad? They wanted integration. They wanted peace. They wanted harmony with our enemies. And that was an error. Because the Most High tells us, simple. Just separate from them. Just separate from our enemies. That's all we had to do. That's all we had to do. But integration is not a separation. God is a segregationist. God is all about separation. All we had to do was separate, which is something that was going on before integration. And we was doing so much better then. We had Black Wall Street. We had car companies, restaurants, we had banks, we had colleges. I mean, what historical Black college? Because for some reason, people take pride in the acronym of HBCU. What historical Black college was made after integration? After integration. Can you do it? Can you do it? No, you can't do it. It was established after integration. Not one. Now, if integration worked, we should have had Black, Hispanic, and Native universities established after integration. We should be doing better after integration. That's what we wanted. We wanted to eat in their restaurants. We wanted to go to the same bathroom that they went to. We wanted to have the same school books that they had. But let me tell you something. That was to our detriment. And logic left the room. Because the simple fact is, if we go to where they are, our money comes with us and is given to them. That's why we don't have Black restaurants like that. That's why we don't have banks like that. That's why we don't have our own Black car company, because we're giving everything to them. That's why they did not have a problem. Well, hold on. Let's take it a little further. Hold on. Let's go to Job 9 and 20. Because you got to understand where your vote is being casted, what you're voting for. You got to understand what you're voting for. You're voting for people that are not righteous, that do not have your best interests at heart. So that's where your vote is going. But let's get into it. Job 9 and 24. The earth, mind you, said the earth, not the world. The world is a society.